This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, June 20th, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw on our live show last night, several tornadoes were spun off into Texas, and we had severe flooding up the Texas coast all the way to the Spain Pass and actually over into Louisiana, which is just an incredible distance north of the actual impact of Alberto. Alberto entered or made landfall right around Tampico and is currently moving across Mexico. It will soon be a post-tropical cyclone. It's still a depression at this point. Now, we have two additional or new storms in play. One of them has been named. First, off the coast of Central America, we have a tropical system that looks like it wants to jump the Yucatan Peninsula and end up also in the Gulf of Mexico. Has a 50% chance of formation. We have another system that's actually been named, and they still have it saying it has a 40% chance of formation, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. As of 4 p.m. Eastern Time, now known as Invest 92L, this is the enhanced satellite view, the 40% chance of formation heading into what looks like North Florida and Georgia currently. We will show you some spaghetti models on this. They go crazy. This is the water vapor view of that same storm off the east coast of the U.S., and we can see all of the moisture whipping up again here in the Gulf of Mexico. This is all rotating here, and it looks like a very large storm again is forming. Remember, the storm last night made landfall near Tampico, but flooded out areas of Louisiana. Now, we already have spaghetti models out at 4 p.m. updated on Invest 92L. It looks like they're all fairly in agreement. It looks like they want to take this storm into Florida, northeast Florida, and perhaps into Georgia, and maybe up the east coast or back out to sea, or maybe even across Florida into the Gulf to join this other large system. We hope not. One of the best predictive models I've noticed over the last few years is the TABS, the white model. Takes this tropical system into the Jacksonville area of Florida, then into Georgia, and then back out around into the Atlantic via South Carolina. So we're going to keep an eye on this storm for sure. This is an enhanced satellite view of the Gulf of Mexico. We see two things. Alberto moving across Mexico. I guess it will be renamed if it forms again in the Pacific. It might not completely deteriorate. It looks very strong and intensifying. We also see all the moisture here just south of the Yucatan Peninsula and on top of the peninsula, and we can easily see this jumping over into the Gulf of Mexico just as predicted, with a 50% chance of doing just that. And based on the last 2 hours here, it looks like it's doing that quicker or sooner rather than later. Quick infrared satellite on 92L, Invest 92L. It should start raining in the Jacksonville or northeastern part of Florida by this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And this storm did flood Monterrey, Mexico. It did flood all of Galveston, Texas. It even flooded parts of Louisiana, including Grand Isle, just south of New Orleans. And we'll just say, bye, Felicia. I'm sure it probably will deteriorate as it crosses these mountains here in Mexico. All outgoing spaghetti models tend to agree. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Alberto. So we'll be headed out to sea. I believe it's going to be renamed as the Pacific storm if it intensifies enough in the Pacific. Taking a look at the water temperatures, we see that we have some warm waters off the coast of Texas and Mexico, 85, 86 degrees. That's only going to get warmer as we move into July and August. And these temperatures actually reach all the way out to the Lesser Antilles, all of the Caribbean and Bahamas, etc. Taking a look at windy.com, we see Alberto crossing Mexico here. This is one of these subtropical lows that is entering into Oregon, Washington, California, and coming across and being called a high pressure when in fact it is a subtropical low. But when these lows hit the system, I expect tornadic activity, as we're already seeing supercells today in several places. I'm going to run this forward and see what happens. This is the disturbance off the East Coast. Again, I expect it to be raining in Northeast Florida and perhaps Southeast Georgia this evening or earlier. You can see all of this just really coming in for another buildup. And this is just tomorrow, Friday. Looks like it's going to jump the peninsula here. This is in tomorrow, Friday still. Still tomorrow, Friday. Looks like we're going to have a formation here. We have a front here, and we have two additional fronts inbound. This system looks like it's already come onshore by tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that. We'll run into Saturday now. Looks like this system wants to move up into Texas again. I don't know if Texas can take another flooded coast. And this is into Sunday, and this looks pretty clear. This is, again, windy AI, so you can take it or leave it. We'll continue moving through Sunday. Looks like the Northeast and New England is taking some rough hits for whatever reason. Looks like the subtropical low that moved in from Oregon, and it then exits into the Atlantic. And again, we might have a third system forming in the Gulf at that point. With that said, this has been a very busy beginning to the 2024 season here. And either one of these storms, at least one of them, is probably going to be our second named storm of the season already here on June 20th, 2024. God bless you and yours. Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World. God bless.